Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Wow. I feel like we got to talk about this Diddy documentary, man. This is absolutely crazy. So I'm a bit jet lagged because I just got back from New York. And I've been slow on the videos because I was in Tokyo for 2 weeks. It was a birthday trip. It was absolutely incredible. Went out there with my girl. Had a great time. Tokyo, definitely one of the best cities in the world. Best places I've been. And then I got back for a couple days. And then I had to fly to New York for some work with Spotify. Big shouts out to Spotify. That trip was incredible. It was all around their Wrapped event. And I saw the Clips perform, which was sick. But on the flight back from New York, I made sure I downloaded all of these episodes on Netflix of the new Diddy documentary, executive produced by 50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson. And let me tell you something about 50 Cent, man. You see people like 50 Cent, we're talking about someone that was shot 9 times from Southside Jamaica, Queens. I drove through there. You have to drive through there on the way from the airport. When you come from JFK to Manhattan or wherever you're staying in New York, you drive through Southside Jamaica, Queens. You do not want an enemy like 50 Cent. That is the worst type of enemy. And these men have been going back and forth for years. If you know rap and you know hip hop and you know the politics between these two men, all right, they have been going back and forth for years. And it got to the point, sorry, let me put my phone on silent. It got to the point where Diddy was basically moving to 50's baby mum, Daphne Joy. They have a kid together, right? And one thing we see throughout this documentary is that Diddy has a habit of moving to guys' girlfriends, especially when they've slighted him. All right. Now, this happens on the road. This happens in real life. You know, sometimes a way of getting to a man's core to really irk his soul is to either get with his girl, his current girl, or his ex-girl, or a girl he had feelings for that he was seeing. It's a tale as old as time. It's slimy. We know that. And in this documentary, Diddy did that time and time again. All right. And it just became a pattern, man. And then obviously it kind of ended with, well, it didn't end, but he took Cassie off Ryan Leslie, innit? Ryan Leslie bought Cassie, which I thought was weird anyway. I'm not sure how old Ryan Leslie was at the time, but she was really young. And it just seemed like she was like this innocent girl that came from Connecticut to New York. And because she was so beautiful, all these guys were kind of just sinking their teeth into her. Do you know what I mean? A naive young girl, and kind of like getting them under their grits. But once Diddy locked in on her, that was it, man. He wanted her. And throughout this documentary, you kind of see that pattern. But yeah, 50 Cent, the worst type of enemy. So if you're going back and forth and you're competing in the vodka market, which they did with Effin versus Ciroc, you know, in the clothing realm, they were going back and forth. You know, 50 Cent had his clothing, his sneaker deal. We had G-Unit clothing. And obviously, Diddy had Sean John. And then Diddy went into the, what's it called? The TV business, right? In the early 2000s, and they show it in the documentary Making the Band. And then 50 Cent started to go into TV, as we know, and we, you know, he's producing films, starring in films, television series like BMF. Power was a huge success. And you know what? There's actually a funny clip. I'll never forget this clip. It just makes me die with laughter. Diddy 50 Cent interview. I don't know what. Let me see if I can find the clip of them backstage. It's gonna bring up all these new ones, man. They're not. How do I find it? Diddy 50 Cent interview backstage, maybe. Backstage, no, because it's so. This is the interview right here.
Everybody's horizons. Yeah, definitely. I was looking for you. I tell you, get your hand out of my pocket, man. Get your hand out of my pocket. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing on the channel. Get your hand out of my pocket, man. Look at me when I'm talking to you.
He's being dead serious.
I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. Nah, look at me, man. I see what you're doing, man. Yeah, you gonna make me. Okay, I'm telling y'all right now. When I want to work for Diddy, I'm gonna physically put my hands on somebody for the ratings because he's not going to outdo me.
So look, 50 Cent is a real street gangster. Let's be clear. He came into the industry dissing everyone, and Diddy was one of the people he dissed. If you know about How to Rob, right? He has a song called How to Rob, and on that he dissed Jay-Z. He dissed everyone in the industry, and that's what kind of got him big, right? And this was before he got shot, if I got my timeline correctly. And he talked about sticking up Puff for his jewelry in the song and all of this. And from the gate, you could see that Puff is someone that has built himself, being this kind of nerdy kid who then got into the industry, really wanted to win, wanted to become a powerful player. And then once he got that money and that power, he really walked into that role. Do you know what I mean? You see it in the documentary, he became this industry gangster, and he did that through money and power. So it doesn't matter how gangster you are on the road, it don't matter how much, you know, bodies you got, how many people you shot, how much pies you flipped. Ultimately, whoever has the most money has the most power, because you can bankroll certain things, you can influence other people in positions of power, and you get powerful friends and peers. So Diddy did that. He built that up. And you can see someone as gangster as 50 who didn't give a damn. This is years later after How to Rob. Obviously, I think How to Rob was like 99, in 1999. I believe this clip here is probably like 05. This is when 50 Cent's like scorching. Like I said, he's come off the back of 2 very successful albums in Get Rich or Die Trying and The Massacre. And he's kind of moving into TV. And Diddy is letting him know. He's saying it in a jokey way, but there's no jokes here, bro. Let's look at this clip again. I'm gonna pull it back for you. He is not joking about. He's trying to make it kind of in jest because they're on television. You can see Tim Cash, the legendary Tim Cash, definitely a presenter I looked up to when I was coming up. Shouts out to him, salute. But Diddy is being dead serious, but only because it's on TV. He's not going too far with it. But really, he's fuming.
Definitely. I was looking for you. I tell you, get your hand out my pocket, man. Get your hand out my pocket. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing on the channel.
That little thing was hilarious.
Pocket, look at me when I'm talking to you. I see, yo. I see what you're doing. I see what you're doing, man. I see what you're doing. Nah, look at me, man. I see what you're doing, man. Yeah, you gonna make me. Okay, I'm telling you right now. On I Want to Work for Diddy, I'm gonna physically put my hands on somebody for the ratings because he's not going to outdo me. I'm going to physically. I'm going to go to Central Book. Yeah. I'm used to it. I know what it is. But get your hand on my pocket. Get off my channel.
What's the punch? Look, it gives him a little punch.
I love this show, though.
You got the brand new show. Have you seen it?
I love this show.
Donald Trump's seen it as well.
Yeah. Donald Trump saying.
He is fuming. Like, at the end, he kind of goes, yeah, I love the show, and gives him props, but he's not happy. Like, he is fuming because he's seen this pattern from 50 where it's like, all right, you've come in the game and diss me, and then on top of that, you are moving into all the business ventures I've moved into. Now, this is the thing. We need to stop this crabs in a bucket mentality. And I watched the Eddie Murphy documentary, which was sick as well. Netflix are killing it with these documentaries, by the way. And in the Eddie Murphy documentary, he basically talks about how when he came up, he looked up to Richard Pryor. And Richard Pryor was like the huge #1 black comedian in Hollywood. Eddie Murphy comes through, Saturday Night Live, blows up, you know what I'm saying, trading places. And then they were pitting them against each other. And he talked about how he doesn't like the fact that in these industries, there can only be one black man at the top. You know what I mean? Whereas you look at, you know, a lot of the successful white actors or musicians or whoever happens to be in the entertainment industry, there's loads of them and they don't pit themselves against each other. You know, Brad Pitt doesn't look at George Clooney and go, yo, we can't both be here. Or Leonardo doesn't look at Al Pacino and go, look, I looked up to you, but now we can't. Like, they all coexist. And this is the thing with, like, black people, we can coexist at the top. 50 and Diddy's looking at 50 as a threat. Like, bro, we can't coexist in this. This is my piece. And we saw throughout the whole documentary that he always wanted to be #1. He always wanted to be in the spotlight. And like we saw with, you know, the likes of Kanye, who's another genius, creative genius, like, these guys have God complexes, man. And when you have a God complex living here on earth, no one is bigger than the program. I say this time and time again. I don't care how talented you are. I don't care how rich you are. I don't care what you've done. I don't care how groundbreaking you are. I don't care if you invented the cure for whatever. Ultimately, we are all born and we all pass away, all right? And there's an ecosystem that will carry on and no one is bigger than the program. And the program is the universe. It's life, okay? This continues no matter what happens. You go jail, life continues. You die, life continues. It doesn't stop for no one. So all these people that are living on earth with God complexes thinking they're bigger than the program, you will be humbled real quick. And we're seeing it with some of our biggest stars. Unfortunately, we're seeing it with some of our, you know, biggest black entertainers, hip hop people that we looked up to. But the reality is, if you're not a good person, you're not a good person. And that brings me back to the documentary right here. Listen, I watched all 4 episodes on this flight, man. I was absolutely knackered, but it was so gripping and done so well. And everyone knows there's been bare documentaries about Diddy since, you know, Cassie came out and this whole trial was going underway. but they were all kind of hit jobs put together real quickly. And you know, Diddy's team have come out and said this is a hit job. But one thing I'll say about this documentary, right? This documentary was one shot so well. It's got very credible individuals that were in and around Diddy from, you know, previous assistants, you know, people that started Bad Boy with him, artists that were on Bad Boy. Like, these accounts, these are real accounts. And some people might go, oh yeah, but they just felt slighted because, you know, they didn't. Nah. Because anyone that's been following hip hop for years knows that Diddy has been a dirty guy. Maybe that's why he called himself Diddy Dirty Money at one point. Almost everyone he's come into contact with has bad things to say about this man. The only people, it seems, today that don't have bad things to say about him are his family, and which is usually the case, you know. But yeah, everyone's on his head top, and rightly so, man. Like, the way they paint the narrative of Diddy in this is really, really sinister, man. It's really bad. And to be honest, it's compelling. They make a compelling argument and structure. The way they structure it, his early life, you know, how he got into the game, which a lot of us, you know, I knew that. If you follow hip hop, you know, they started at Uptown Records, you know, it was under Andre Harrell. That's how he got his break. You know, they fell out, went to Arista, Clive Davis, started up Bad Boy Entertainment, you know, and then things go left where he starts beefing Suge. And a lot of people may not know that. A lot of people may think, oh, you know, it was just a record. They were beefing themselves before Biggie and Tupac even started beefing. The owners of the labels, you know, it's all ego, it's all pride, it's all about who can be the big boss. But you got Diddy, who is a music executive moving like a gangster in the industry, beefing a real street gangster like Suge. It was going to his head. Do you know what I'm saying? This is an incredible documentary, man. I think a lot of people, myself included, when we heard 50 Cent was executive producing this, I thought, nah, this is going to be whack, man. Like, he's probably just put it together with some people, sold it to Netflix, but Netflix have put their stamp and name on this. It says a Netflix documentary. They've got behind this. You got Aubrey O'Day here from Danny E. Kane. Like, there's so many credible people within this documentary, and I think they did it really, really well, man. And I think this is a huge problem for Diddy and his team. I think, you know, his PR and everything is already in the gutter. Let's be clear. Like, Diddy is already out of here, pretty much. But I think, you know, with the trial and a lot of the main damaging charges being dropped, I think a lot of people, or some people, especially from, you know, the community and the hip hop community, that were looking at him like, once the main charges got dropped, some people were like, so they just got him for prostitution? I mean, prostitution's not great, but, you know, we don't, like, you know what I mean? That'd be a lot of people out here. A lot of rich people could be in jail then. So I think his PR kind of not got better, but it wasn't as bad. I think once those main charges got dropped, people were like, so the jurors really acquitted him for all of those things, even though Cassie turned up and all of these things. And I think it raised a few eyebrows, but then I think this documentary coming out has just firmly shut the door on any, if he had any grace, Diddy had left. Firmly. Once you watch this, it's going to be hard to unsee that this was an evil guy, man. It was an evil guy. And you know, I don't use the word evil lightly. And the reason I say evil is just because this guy was so rich and powerful, and it was like, he wouldn't even pay people properly, man. He wouldn't even pay people properly. Like, it's crazy. It's crazy. The abuse that he would put people through, like the betrayal from like even the partners he was seeing to the people he worked with. If you ain't got no loyalty to like the people in your camp that you work with, and then it extends to the family home, like the people around you. I mean, at one point they said he slapped his own mum. It wasn't verified if it was true, but this is what I'm saying, man. God complex. And life will show you, the program will show you that you're not bigger than it and you are nowhere near God. You can be God-fearing and that is it. You will not be God. I don't care what you do. I don't care how hard you work. I don't care how influential you are. You cannot be God. But yeah, 50 Cent seems to have won the war, man. This war has been going on between them for ages. And it's funny to me when I see these things because it's like, there's so many, these rappers that we love because we love hip hop. When I say love, I mean them as rappers, not as people, because I don't know these people. They have so many side beefs going on. Like, you see it with Drake. Like, Drake at one point had beef with Diddy. Diddy apparently slapped Drake for stealing 0 to 100. So Drake has multi-layered beefs. Then you see Jay-Z has problems with whether it's, 50 who we don't like. He doesn't like Nas either, even though, they play cool. He doesn't like Drake. We know that. Like, he doesn't like Kanye now. Like, so there's multiple beefs happening at different levels and mad chess moves moving. And Diddy had so many of his own enemies, but because he was such a top dog in the entertainment industry, we're talking beyond hip hop, we're talking about in entertainment, period. A lot of these guys in hip hop, they're big in hip hop. So in that one genre, they are influential and powerful. But Diddy crossed over. Diddy was like a household name globally. In the pop space, he was big. He started doing judging on like American Idol and shit. Like, man was doing TV shows. Like, Diddy completely crossed over and became a pop star. So it was like, even the whole Biggie thing in this was dark, man. Biggie and Tupac, like, they make a compelling argument that he allegedly killed Tupac. And the way they put it together makes you think this guy may have done this. Like, for real. It's always been rumors about it, but the way they break it down, you're looking at him like, this guy was really jealous of Tupac. It's mad. But yeah, let's talk about Diddy and 50 Cent. 50 Cent is loving every bit of his ops downfall, man. He has been waiting for this day, bro. He has been waiting. Look, he went on Gayle King and he was smiling.
Danny Daisy Design transforms any space, and the most powerful QuickBooks ever on the Intuit platform pulls everything together in one place.
I'm silencing this. I can't be doing that to you lot, man. I'm not signed in. But yeah, it's dark. It's dark. Dark times out here. You do not want an op like 50 Cent. Let's get it cracking.
In the days leading up to his arrest in New York last September.
You want to put the stuff in my fanny pack, King?
The fact they even got this footage is crazy. And the fact that Diddy even filmed this and allowed a videographer to film this, knowing that, the feds were coming for him, just speaks to his like narcissism and how tapped he is. Because, I don't know, maybe he thought this was watertight and this would never come out and he was going to do what he needed to do with it. But he was letting them record mental conversations. Like, there's one point where he finds out in real time that, Dawn Richards, who used to be part of Danny E. Kane and Diddy Dirty Money, is now suing him. And he says it on camera, in front of the camera. He's like, don't sue me like that. And then he calls up the other former Diddy Dirty Money member, Kalina, and he's basically asking her to like, save face for him and be like, yo, that never happened. And he's allowing the videographer to record this. And I'm just like, this guy is not...
Exclusive video.
It shows how the years went by. He was just so mollied up, man. He was on too many drugs. Way too many drugs. To the point where I think being that rich on that many drugs, getting away with the amount of things he got away with for 3 decades, he just wasn't in touch with reality. I think when you get that rich and you're in so many rooms and you're that powerful, and the things he's got away with lets me know personally that he was in with the feds at one point. I don't know, not the feds, but enforcement, governors, whoever, because he was getting away with things that the average person, especially a black man in America, is not getting away with. He was getting away with them like it was ease. Like when you get to the point of the documentary where you hear about Lil Rod in the studio shooting, and then it just went away, and the guy almost died. He allegedly shot a man up in the studio, and it was like, and this was a couple years ago. He was out of touch with reality, man.
Obtained. Come back to.
Look how 50 Cent is smiling. No, we gotta pull this back. Look at this smile, bro. This kind of op, you do not want this op. He even took off the legendary New York Yankee fitted to show the hairline. He doesn't care. He doesn't care. He's showing the hairline. He said, I don't care about my hairline. You're just gonna see this grin. This grin is all he cares about. Because when you have an op that you hate, despise. And to be honest, I don't have one of those. I actually don't. But we all have someone throughout life that we really disliked. You know what I'm saying? But when you have a real op to this level, where to the point where you lot have been going back and forth so long that he's decided he's going to start pimping out your baby mum. That's what happened. That was one of the Jane Does in this case and stuff like that. You are going to smile like this when you get the opportunity to bring a documentary like this to kind of put the final nail in that person's legacy. This is like when we talk chess, you know what I'm saying? Diddy might have thought, he took if we're talking the chessboard, he took 50's queen, he took his rook or his knight or whatever. 50 Cent checkmate with this move. Checkmate, bro. I'm telling you, Curtis Jackson.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think It was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very
that
interesting.
That smile isn't even 50 Cent. That's is it Booby? Was that his name? 50 Cent name before 50 Cent in the street. I don't know why I'm typing it like this. What was it again? Boo Boo. I said Booby. Pause. Boo Boo. That was his name in the street. In his youth selling drugs, he was known as Boo Boo. That's what Tony Ayo still calls him to this day, bro. This is Boo Boo, bro. This is Boo Boo. This is that street young, yes. My op got him down on Southside Jamaica, Queens, except this is in the industry in front of the world and I'm destroying a man's legacy. This is the final play in 48 Laws of Power. We know he did his own book, 50 Laws of Power. This is a man that studied that.
Curtis 50 Cent Jackson, titled Sean Combs, The Reckoning. Was there anything that surprised you when you were watching?
I think it was surprising that he actually filmed it.
It was very interesting to watch a man who's known for his brand presence. You know, he has a really amazing knack for marketing and all of that, and how he was sort of taking that into account in how he was coming off to the public.
The exclusive video also shows Combs in Harlem greeting fans.
This was crazy. Absolutely crazy.
I need some hand sanitizer. Hold on. I got it. I've been out in the streets amongst the people. Yeah, I gotta take a bath. Like the amount of people that actually I'm coming in contact with, like that's what I have to do.
Now listen, there's nothing wrong with sanitizing your hands if you've been outside dapping up loads of strangers and stuff like I do. Everyone should go home and wash their hands or sanitize. So that's not the issue here. The issue with this is, because I see some people going, who doesn't do that in the clips? And I know these are just stupid little fans online, like little Gen Z people leaving their comments. But the context here is he's only out in these streets to get PR up. Like the whole world's kind of turned their back on him. He's gone back to Harlem where he's from and he's trying to show, my community still mess with me. The culture's still here with me. You know what I'm saying? I'm going to be outside with these people. He's giving me a jacket. I'm wearing it, all of that. And then he jumps in the car straight away and he's like, I need to take a bath. He hasn't been around people like this for like 30 years. This guy's one of probably the biggest mansions in Miami on Star Island. This guy has a ridiculous mansion in LA, probably penthouses in New York. This guy don't hang around with people on the street like that. He never really did, to be honest. Maybe when he was throwing his parties in that part of the story, and he used to see Alpo on the rooftop somewhere in Harlem, wherever it was called. But he wasn't really on the ground, you know what I'm saying? So seeing this is like, come on, man. You're looking down on your people that you're using right now.
You know what I'm saying? Oh. It's like 150 hugs.
You're a public person as well, and there was one instance in Harlem, and his reaction when those people
went away.
Got in
the car and said, I feel like I need to wash, like I'm dirt. That was, it show you his character.
Was that the reason for including it?
Yeah, I mean, what's the odds that you would do that in front of the camera? Like that's one of the moments where he forgot he was on tape.
How do you respond to people who say that it's more about the disdain that you have for Sean Combs than it is for giving the victims a platform?
What they consider a pre-existing beef, right, for 20 years, right, is me being uncomfortable with him suggesting that he takes me shopping, or I looked at it like it was like a tester, like maybe you'll come play with me, type of thing, right? And it's not personal.
I think it's important to
50. Let's not lie. He said it's not personal. I mean, he's on ABC talking to white America, so he's gonna say that. But those that know, man. They know. I saw him put a post as well on Instagram taking shots at Jay-Z. He's been on Jay-Z's neck for a while as well. They've got their own little passer. And he's like, put a little clip up of Jay-Z basically saying Jay-Z's, he put in the caption, Jay-Z, when he finds out he's not in it, he's going to thank me or some shit like that. And I'm seeing the internet try and gather pace on Jay-Z. Listen, who knows? This ain't about Jay-Z. 50 Cent's probably got his own chess moves going on with Jay. But Jay's very powerful. Jay's thing's watertight, and Jay's with Beyonce, man. That's a whole other... Jay's not a reckless, loose cannon like Diddy. You know what I'm saying? He's not out here doing Molly, walking around. From what I know, I don't know these people. But yeah, 50 is he's a devious guy, man. But you know what? For all the people that are getting onto him online, like 50's a snitch, why is he doing this? Bringing down another black man, allow it. Because this is a war between two guys. I don't even care about their race or whatever, like the gloves between these two were off time ago. Once man starts dating your baby mum and hoeing her out, the gloves are off. You can, at that point, it's whatever, innit? It is whatever. And 50 Cent just checkmated him, in my opinion, man. Diddy, the legacy is finished now. For this to be on Netflix, it is currently #1 in the UK. It is currently #1 in America. It is beating out Stranger Things. It is beating out Stranger Things, people. What are we talking about? 11, Max and them, beating them out. Crazy, crazy work, Diddy, man. It's done. It's done. He's currently serving 50 months in prison. It's about 3 to 4 years. Might get out earlier. But if you haven't seen this, you need to watch it, man. Let me know in the comments below your thoughts. I want to know what you think on this one, man.